We have further insight into Panasonic's strategy behind their focus on video. Plus, we have your thoughts on the Canon EOS R1 specifications. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And don't forget, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can just watch this video here. Now, yesterday afternoon, I published a video on the Canon EOS R1 coming in 2021. We don't have any specs, so I thought, well, let's see if we can't put together what we think the Canon EOS R1 will be, and here's what you thought. It's definitely going to get a full-frame CMOS sensor, no surprises there, but in terms of megapixels, this camera, the R1, is going to have anywhere between 20 and 33 megapixels. It's going to be a full-frame CMOS sensor. It will have IBIS, and no surprises that we expect improved low light and dynamic range, and that shouldn't be very hard to accomplish. No 8K video in this one, 6K oversampled video according to what I heard from you guys, but we wouldn't get any overheating in video at all. And one of you even included HDMI 2.1, so yeah, what the heck, it doesn't have 8K, but that could still be useful for 6K. It will get a larger screen, up to 25 frames per second mechanical, and one of you said that we would even get up to 240 frames per second in 4K. And in terms of an announcement, that would be January with an April release. Hopefully we'll see how close your idea of the ideal R1 specs are pretty soon. But now, it's time to take another look at Panasonic. Do you remember that story I published about Panasonic's strategic transformation to be more video focused? Well, 43 Rumors provides insight into what that means and stated that the following information comes from reliable sources. Panasonic will change strategy here. Micro Four Thirds will focus on the vlogging segment. They don't see a huge market for the GH6 anymore, as most people are moving to full frame. So the upcoming GH6 may be more of a pro-grade G100. It's more of an upgraded GH5 in a new body with enhanced mobile integration. I didn't like the sound of that. Sure, I vlog occasionally, and so do other YouTube presenters, but it's hardly a big segment. Can't they see the elephant in the room? It's the depth from defocus autofocus system that needs updating. This doesn't sound like a solid upgrade to the GH5 that we were hoping for, does it? Vlogging is only a subcategory of video, or a sub-capability of video. The G9 is now selling well in India. There are discussions about a Mark II. Discussions means that things are very early on, so don't expect anything for 2 years. The future of Micro Four Thirds is not yet decided. They're very careful because of the Olympic imaging carve out happening soon. Sounds like Panasonic has a lot of soul searching to do. I sense they're evaluating their entire stills and video hybrid cameras as to how well they fit into their new strategy. I actually have a lot of experience evaluating a project's strategic alignment. While these points indicate that Panasonic is doing a current state analysis, I didn't really get the feeling that they have a solid grasp on what is needed to reach their desired state, nor do I feel confident that they're asking what's wrong with their current processes or capabilities, specifically relating to communications and change management. There's one thing that's keeping Panasonic away from video users, from ordinary video users, and that's dumping the depth from defocus autofocus system and moving to some sort of phase detect autofocus system. And I get it. I understand how to use manual focus. I get that most S1H users will default to manual focusing. But with Panasonic relegated to the other category in worldwide sales, how many of these cameras can they be possibly selling? And the answer is not enough. Panasonic, please replace the depth from defocus autofocus system with a phase detect approach. Manual users can still use manual, but video users will now have the confidence of accurate autofocusing and flock to the GH5, the S5, and even the more capable S1 and S1H. And they'll even flock to the GH6 if you don't turn it into a vlogger's dream. Now guys, I don't hate Panasonic. I love innovation, the frequency that they update their camera's firmware, their dedication to providing the latest technologies and tools that us video and filmmakers need, both ordinary and pro. But something's definitely missing in their communication and change management if they don't understand the importance of moving off DFD, depth from defocus, autofocus, and how important, reliable, trustworthy autofocus is to ordinary filmmakers and pros alike. But enough of that rant. A little bit of behind the scenes, guys. You might notice that I have this cable on my table here. And this could potentially be very, very, very toxic to the GH5. This could be very dangerous. It could be one of the most dangerous thing, other than me, the R5 will come encounter with, because this is an HDMI cable. Full-size HDMI here. I haven't even removed these yet. And you know what this is, don't you? This is the micro HDMI port. Nothing wrong with the cable. It's a decent make. I ordered it this morning and it just showed up a couple of minutes ago. And the reason I ordered it is because I just got a live streaming device that I'm going to be testing out over the next couple of weeks to do a review. And I'm excited by that. I'm really excited to be able to do some live streaming. I've got my Canon 70D that's going to make an appearance along with the R5. And for that I need multiple cables. Now the 70D, a much older camera, about 7 years old now, I'm starting to lose count. It uses the mini HDMI cable, and I don't feel that I'm putting the camera at risk, but this little thing here, you know, I could see myself knocking the cable or doing something and bending the port, and the port's tied right onto the motherboard. So I'm really concerned about it. I know what some of you are thinking. Well, Simon, just be careful. Guys, I'm a klutz. I'm 50, my eyesight's going. I'm going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. Look, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me just the other day. I dropped my R5. Yeah, I know. You probably just spit out your morning coffee. Just bear with me. I wasn't being an idiot. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything to harm the camera. I used the strap around my neck mainly because I know I'm a bit of a klutz. So this way around my neck, I know it's safe when it's not in use. Well, I was kneeling down. I had this like low chair table thing. It's meant for toddlers, so it's only about a foot off the ground. And as I got up, the strap reached under my knee and pulled the camera onto the concrete patio stones. How's that, right? This happened a few days ago. I know you're putting the pieces together, but Simon, you're filming on your R5 now, right? So no harm, right? Yeah, no harm. And I want to tell you a couple of things before I get back onto this cable, of things that have helped save this expensive camera. Camera Conspiracies was just talking about the R5, and he said, this is $8,000 Canadian. I corrected him. It's $8,300 Canadian if you get the two CF, or get one CF Express card and anyhow, we won't get it. It's around $8,000, so he's pretty much correct. Thankfully, I had my Rode VideoMic Pro on it. So yes, the Rode VideoMic Pro is an excellent crash test safety device, shall we say. So it fell on that, which really helped cushion the blow. And then the lens came down and hit the pavement. Now I don't have it, well, I can show you this one here. So what I'm using, this is the replacement. That comes, you notice how that comes off really easy. Remember these Kinko variable ND filters? They're made out of metal, and I don't know if it's aluminum, or some other composite metal, but this inner ring, you probably can't see it from the video here, unless you pixel peep and you're on 4K. It bent the inner ring a little bit and the outer ring just a tad, enough that you could move it still, but it was a little bit resistant. So the first thing I did is I put on the 50mm f1.2 and I shot some video, and it works. And since then I think I've produced 3 videos and not a problem. Now, when some of you complained about the exposure and that looked all wrong, I thought, oh no. I started to worry, right? Is it wrong? And no, that was an actual mistake. So I quickly called up Patrick at Downtown Camera and ordered up another one of these. That's an expensive mistake, but it's only essentially $200 Canadian. About 140 US with shipping and taxes and everything. And as soon as I put it back on here, and it's screwed in, really smooth, much better than the one that I dented. And I thought, okay, good. Everything's moving properly. The threads are good. And of course, I took it for a little bit of a test drive, and everything was fine. So I can be a bit of a klutz at times. So when see, I did go off on a tangent. Didn't just go off in the Waze area. I went off on a safari. That's why I'm really worried about this. I'm afraid that I might do something stupid. I know. don't use it, right? And that's my plan. I don't plan on vlogging a lot with the Canon EOS R, sorry, not vlogging. I don't plan on doing a lot of live streaming with the Canon EOS R5. In fact, I don't plan on doing an awful lot of live streaming in general. I don't see how it's really going to help my channel right away. You guys submit questions, I do the weekly Q&A, and that seems to serve quite well. Doesn't mean to say I won't use it for special occasions like Christmas Eve or staying up New Year's Eve and maybe going from, let's say, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we count our way through many different New Years up until midnight my time, stuff like that. But I'm hoping to get some other cameras into the ordinary filmmaker. The Sony a7 III is one that I'm definitely looking at getting, and I would probably end up using that because, while this is great for the review and it allows me to use the R5, it's one of those WTF moments where we're like, Canon, you produce some really great gear, but come on, micro HDMI? If you gave us a 5-year warranty on these cameras, and it included accidentally bending the port or something, I wouldn't have such a problem with it, but micro HDMI. If you're still here, you stuck through that rant, thanks so much, but that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win the Synco Lav microphone as well as the Shotgun Lav, that's the 6SE Lav, and the M3 mic. I'll be awarding that prize once my channel reaches 20,000 subscribers, which isn't too far away. And I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 once I reach 100,000 subscribers. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker and supporting this channel. We'll see you again soon.